important things to know. The restrooms are right down that hall on the right-hand side, just in case you need them. And let's see, it's Tuesday, so that's why it snowed. It always snows on Tuesday. Either it snows or rains. Sometimes it rains.
You know what? The whole environment gets purified for us to meditate.
There you have it. And in a minute, I'm going to turn that big blower off, so it's quieter in here, and then we'll turn the lights down. And all the guys will come, and we have our little donation box over there. If you have a chance to put something in that helps us keep the manual going. And with that, I'll just say thank you for coming. Looks like it was a challenge tonight.
No, it's okay. It was really nice. Nice drive, as usual. We come from Elgin, so it's a straight shot down, and most of the expressway has been expanded as well, so it was nice. Yeah, construction has ended. How are you, Kevin? Good. How's work going?
Not great. Looking for other work.
How are you, Amanda?
I'm good.
How are your meditations coming along?
They've been kind of weird this week, but they've been all right. Focus is a problem.
Yeah. How are you focusing? What are you doing in your focus?
I've been trying to do mantra, and then I found this really great meditation where they do the ilaha.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps. That one really gets me.
Which one?
She just repeats the ilaha.
La ilaha illallah.
Yeah, she just repeats it over and over again.
Okay.
It's really good.
That is actually, our master says that mantra in Sufi is called Zikr. Same meaning. Mantra is when you recite it out, as a group, as one, and that collective consciousness, it actually empowers that supercharged Zikr. So La ilaha illallah, La ilah, I am not, illallah. Then there's the existence of God, or the existence of the reality, existence of the one, meaning that all is one, and that oneness reality, it's not an idea anymore, it's actual reality that you experience within your own self. The mind, body, and soul merging into one being, one ocean, right? As we say, the one ocean. Love is one ocean. That we go from being a vessel, this human being, with the identity of the self. Then from the self, the false reality of the self goes into the reality of the one self. Meaning that there's one existence. That we are trying to identify the who am I question within ourself. But that mind and the heart, when the mind completely dives into the heart, then you see the realities of who we are in all forms, in all expressions. Again, these stories of the beloved and the lover, and a point comes where the lover remembers the beloved so much so within themselves, then there's no more lover, there's only the beloved. Meaning there's no identification with it anymore because there's no separation of that consciousness, so to say. So that meditation there is a very powerful, it's called the sword of the ego, meaning to cut the ego, wipe it out, and you just see everything with one eye. Like all beings, all creation, allness is oneness. That goes into that reality. I wanted to share with you guys today, actually, I started translating a book of the Master. It's written in Urdu, originally from Rumi, the Masnavi. Rumi's, all the spiritual work that he's done and all the poetry that he has done. So the Master I'm connected to, he is a Qalandar, meaning that he is a born saint of God, where his bestowing grace to him on this, in his body, in his realization, and from his lineage, that he is the master bestower, meaning the hearts that feel emptiness or the separate consciousness or the identification where you feel like you're missing something, you're missing a connection. Being with him, my personal experience, something in my journey, I was looking for that experience that I didn't even know what I was looking for. But when I met him, you know, truly the bestower of grace is a real thing. That some being of God who has the light of God within themselves can bestow that light into man, right? And wipe out the ego. And these are called spiritual masters. And every, you know, religion, it has not, it's beyond, I think, you know, religion is more to do with the behaviors while we're living on earth. But diving deep into the spiritual self, right? The master helps you gain that oneness reality. And how does he do that? There's obviously a connection that happens between, in Sufis, it's called the relationship between the beloved and the lover, or Sufi terms are murshid and the murid, meaning the master and the disciple. The master and the disciple. So this was the story of Rumi as well. Those that know about Rumi, his story is beautiful, right? He was this amazing scholar, judge, and he had all the knowledge of all, you know, all the different rules and regulations. But then he met this wandering dervish, this you know, this saintly being, and you know, he became a drunk. Right? He became a drunk, intoxicated in the divine wine of the beloved. And now he became a flute that, you know, when Shams, his master, annihilated his ego, then he became a singing voice. And all the poetry that we see of Rumi today, that's because he experienced something very beloved, right? Something touched him. The light touched him. And when that touch experience happens to you, the mind surrenders, and mind turns over the will to the reality of who it is. You know, it happens in its own experience. So we're experiencing this whole thing within ourselves. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit from Rumi's book, actually. So have you heard the story of the reed, the flute? You heard the story of the Rumi when he talks about the flute, reed, and how it sings. Basic summary of that is that the flute, you know, it's cut from its reed's bed, right? The reed flute is cut from its reed bed, and which comes from its reed bed, as man is also cut from its source, right? Just like the reed is cut from the reed bed, man is also cut from its source. Now it's in this form, in the form of who we are today. So Rumi says, Bashnu az nay shund hikayat me konad, az judai a shikayat me konad. Meaning, listen what the reed is saying. It is complaining of its separation. What does that mean? It was part of a reed bed, and it was cut from there. Then further, it was given a form of reed flute. It was given a form of a flute, meaning that its form was changed. It came from a reed bed. Now the form has been changed. Now it's become a reed flute. But its reality, it did not change. And now whenever when somebody plays that flute, when they put their breath into the flute, the tune, the sound comes from that reed flute. That's its real tune. And when it was cut from it, in reality, it was a part of a reed bed, then it was cut from that reed bed, then the reed bed is gonna, you know, it's talking to us, saying that who I was really was changed in form and color, and I became in use of another person who's playing the flute. However, the real form that it was, the reality that was, inside the reed, the tune that nature had kept it in, the tune that was its original form, that when you play it, you hear this soothing, beautiful tune, this melodious tune. It played its tune and said, "O people, you feel peace when you hear me. You feel happy, but in reality, I am in sadness and expressing the sorrow of my separation. There are only few that understand. People have just found their entertainment by listening to me. People find the sound soothing, but in reality, I am singing the sorrow of my separation, being absent from the real." From this, we recognize that when someone becomes absorbed in remembrance of their own reality and in sorrow, becomes absorbed in longing, and in that condition, when they speak, it has an effect, because in their voice, in their feelings, there's color of that reality, that desire, that longing to be with the beloved. There's no other real sorrow. Everything is a subset of the sorrow of where we were, who we are really in real form, and being cut off from that reality. Now we feel that separation. We feel emptiness, or we feel, a pull, some longing that we feel to return back to the absolute reality. Now that absolute reality, it is the true way. So the voice of separation, the tune of separation from beloved, like when you feel separated and you're longing, just like the flute, the reed flute is longing while it's showing its tune. The separation from beloved and us longing to go back, it's a condition. It's another state, another avenue to return to the beloved. Or understand it in this way, that separation is a name of such a condition which one day reunites the one in pain of separation back to its true nature, the beloved. Maulana Rum gives this example of the reed with marvel and opens the reality of truth in man. This is a big lesson for those that recognize it. So Maulana Rumi gives example of the flute reed because it was cut off from its source, and because of being cut from it, it is explaining its state of trauma that it went to because of being cut from that original form. Now it's in a state of trauma, and saying that folks with its melody and tune are comforted and enjoyment. However, it is crying, it is in pain, and it's giving an invitation to people saying, "Oh people, I have been changed from my real form, and I am remembering who I really was. I'm in desire of who I really was, and I'm in desire of returning back to with the beloved who is my original form, who I am a form of, who I belong to. O people, I have been changed from my real form, and I'm remembering. So why are you lost? You should also be aware. You should also focus and remember your reality." So the reality of the flute reed and the human being are one and the same, but both of their forms have been changed. The flute reed is crying in its remembrance, which people are thinking it is playing a melodious tune. However, human being has forgotten its origin, and he has busied himself with various works of the world. The flute reed is saying that we should be focused on the real work, and this is the study of and teaching of truth realization, self-realization, and that where we came from and where we will return. Reality of the flute reed is its reed bed, where it came from. And the reality of man is returning in completion to its godliness, to its original form. Human being has become busy with worldly works and has forgotten his real work. In every step of the way, one must remember the reality, meaning one must keep the remembrance of the reality, which is why when human being remains busy in his real work, then every moment of his real work, of his life, will become a state of worship. Anything that he does, whether he's at work, whether he's in activities, whether he is in prayer or not in prayer, he's at home, every single step of the way, his life becomes a state of a condition of worshiping reality, a devoted reality with the beloved. So there would be no state but the state of God within ourselves. You call God by any name, yet it is all one creator that is within ourselves. It's within ourselves. So that reality, to open up that reality, this is our purpose. As my master says, that the mission is self-realization to God realization. The one who recognizes himself recognizes the God self within himself. As Rumi has said, to return back to the root of your own self, and to remove all the barriers that you have put around love. So this love that we speak about so much, what is this love? And how do we strike into this love? Sufis call this love ishq. Now if we were to translate ishq, it could not translate into love, because love itself goes in so many deeper levels within ourselves that you get lost so deep within your own self that this illusion is only a part of himself. And you see everybody with that one eye. You only see that reality with that one being. So the meditation that anybody experiences, the reality should be of the experience of the meditation should be to observe. Sufis call that meditation in the Arabic language muraqabah. Muraqabah means to observe. Observe what? Observe your own self. Observe the inner self. Open up the mind's eye, and the mind, when you close these eyes, another eye opens within yourself. When you close your eyes, you should fast in such a way. Your fasting should be in such a way. We now fast with, we try to give up some food or water, or, we try to fast throughout the day to, be more conscious, be more mindful. But there's another fasting. You fast of your tongue. You fast of your mind. Meaning, how many thoughts go through your mind every day? Just contemplate that one reality. How many thoughts actually trigger some emotions in you that may be fearful, that might hurt you, that might scare you, or that might worry you, or give you anxiety, or give you some type of depression, and take you on this whirlwheel of just constant thoughts becoming, just overtaking you. Then there's another reality. You realize all those thoughts are not you. They're not you. And then you also realize, if you were to visualize, if 70,000 spears were coming at you from outside, would you let them hit you? Like if you were aware of them? No, you would try to run away from them, right? So imagine in your meditation that every single thought that's coming your way, or somebody said something and it's affecting your lifestyle, all these things that you let others, basically rule life over you, and you give them that power. Imagine everybody as those spears, right? And if they're coming at you, you have mental capability, mental power to stop that, right? Just by you being in your meditation. What is meditation? You're able to observe so with such strength you can observe that you are aware of all the negativity that's coming, but you're not letting it inside of you. You are in your bliss state. You are in a state of love. You're in a state of ecstasy. You're in a state of godliness, God consciousness. Any name you want to give it, you must become absorbed in that reality. We have to become absorbed in that reality. Not where, you imagine if you were in an ocean, right? Like if you went swimming. Now you knew that, in the water, if you went deep enough, there were some treasures you can actually attain. Now, if that became your mission to go get that treasure in your mind, you're not going to come up every single, to the shore and see what's going on at the beach, what's going on here, what's going on here. You're not going to worry about all that. You have a mission. You have to go get the treasure, right? It's the same thing within our hearts. It's true that the kingdom, the light of God is within our hearts. And that reality is only a result of losing your mind and getting the hell out of there. Absolutely one with the presence of the beloved. So you always think, this is why I call zikr or mantra. It's a thought, right? It's one thought. If your one thought mantra or one thought meditation brings you to one single-minded being, meaning that you are no longer wavering here and there. You're connected intuitively to the divine, and then you're drinking the divine wine. You're always in that state, and you're getting intuition from the divinity. You're not confused about yourself, and you're not confused about any decisions that you make, because all decisions will come from the beloved. Every single thing will happen in the moment. There's no time, there's no space, there's no present, there's no past, because right now we're sitting here is this moment. In 10 minutes will be only that moment. There will be none of this. This has been past. So why get stuck in a mindset and keep thinking about thoughts where you will lose yourself in some negativity or some other thoughts that are not making you go to your highest being. All beings have a natural state. And if you pay attention to that natural state, it's being inclined and pulled towards something way above ourselves, way above us. Everything is a subset of the real value. What I mean by that is, if we have a nice car, for example, then a year later, let's just take a phone. Like, the phones are always really hot, right? Like, you have an iPhone, and then you barely used it all year, and then the new one comes out, and now you go get a new one. Spend another $1,200. Why? Because it takes 2 SIM cards. What are you going to use it for? To go on Facebook, right? Go on Google or Gmail? So it's something like that, right? Where mind is always going to keep making you move, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Spiritual being is not like that. You become still and know that God is within your being. And everything around you, you will taste in contentment. Whether you have a penny to your name or $1 million, it will all be the same. It will all just be in peace. And you will feel that just calm state in you. Spirituality is, you're not trying to get somewhere. You're not trying to get anywhere. Or you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to dress a certain way. There's a Sufi teaching, and it's beautiful. I love it. It says that God lives in the heart of a believer. And that, I think, matches many different teachings. So if you just recognize that we ourselves have the light of God within ourselves, and we recognize and pay attention. Master says that pay attention if you give yourself in an absorbed state in yourself. If you give yourself 7 days, just in yourself, you will feel your own reality within that state. You will feel who you are and what your reality is in your understanding that will descend into you. Spirituality is not attained by any books, by any form of outside illusion. It's nothing to do with the outside. The spiritual being recognizes his reality, her reality within themselves. And when they realize that reality, who they are, an understanding descends into them. And then they are part of a movement from up above in the mission here. They're the vessels for humanity working at large. In any condition they're in, whether they're a doctor, engineer, activist, whatever whatever movement, whatever work they've been designed to do, they recognize within themselves who they are, and the ultimate gift they receive is peace and contentment. That's the ultimate gift of man, of human being, is to be. It's to be. It's to become absolutely being, but without doing, without thinking that they have to do to be. Just become and be, and you will see who you are. So today, my wife Farah will recite, and my sister. And while they recite, the meditators focus on the beat, the voice, even if you don't understand what they're saying, but focus on the feeling that you're feeling in your heart. The whole attention and awareness is in the heart. Not in the mind, not trying to analyze how I'm feeling, what I'm going to get out of the result, what's going to happen, none of that. Just absolutely feel. Feel the light, feel the bliss, feel the beat, and just stay connected. Your mind's eye should be connected in the heart. And then after that, I will introduce you guys to a zikr that Amanda was speaking about. And then we'll do a silent meditation with breathing, with a supercharged mantra, with only breathing. Empty your mind, empty your being. Know that you are the light. There's nothing but your presence here. Only the presence of your being. Your mind's attention is in the heart.
Sure. Maulaya salli wa sallim daiman abadan ala habibika khairil khalqi kullihim. Maulaya salli wa sallim daiman abadan ala habibika khairil khalqi kullihim. जमाल खुदाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम या हबीबी या मौलाई तस्वीर कमाल मोहब्बत तनवीर जमाल खुदाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम तेरा वस्फ बयां हो किससे तेरी कौन करेगा बड़ाई नबी जी तेरी कौन करेगा बड़ाई इस गर्द सफर में गुम है इस गर्द सफर में गुम है जिब्रील अमी की रसाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम या हबीबी या मौलाई तस्वीर कमाल मोहब्बत तनवीर जमाल खुदाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम तेरी एक नजर के तालिब तेरी एक नजर पर कुर्बान तेरी एक नजर पर कुर्बान नबी जी तेरी एक नजर पर कुर्बान ये सब तेरे दीवाने ये सब तेरे दीवाने ये सब तेरे शहदाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम या हबीबी या मौलाई तस्वीर कमाल मोहब्बत तनवीर जमाल खुदाई या मोहम्मद नूर मुजस्सम मीरा वलियों के इमाम मीरा वलियों के इमाम मीरा वलियों
being aware of the right side of your chest and the left side. In the next zikr, in this mantra we're going to recite together, you feel on the right side a sensation on the right side of your chest and in your heart area. Now, we're going to recite, and in your mind you're going to put this thought, I am not only the existence of God. Or you can say, I am not only existence of one light. I am not only existence. I am not, whichever way, whatever suits you and whatever connects with you. When we say La ilah, you're going to turn your attention on the right side of the chest. And on the left side, illallah. You're going to strike illallah into the heart, light in the heart. With your head is going to move on the right. When your attention is on the right side, and your head's going to move to the left when your attention is in the heart. Again, on the right side, La ilah, on the right side. Yeah, your neck would go right. And your attention, while your neck is to the right, it will be in the right side, right area of the chest. And when you go left neck, you're going to say illallah, and it's going to go in your heart. Your mind will stay absolutely still, and the only attention will be La ilaha illallah. Again, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Right and left. Right, illallah. Again. Now we'll all do it synced. Attention, fully. La ilaha illallah. 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 Attention in the heart, nowhere else. Attention fully, the mind's attention and awareness is in the heartbeat. next zikr we're going to recite, the mantra is Allahu. Allahu. God, only you. Or only one existence. Only you. Whatever jives with your mind, connect to one single thought, and the zikr, the meditation, when we recite, when we say who, the who will go as deep in the depths of your heart. A shining light, a gleaming, beaming light is going into the heart with every single who. Recite with me. Allah, who, 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 Allah, who. With the same rhythm, only with your breath, only with your breath. Breathe in Allah, breathe out who. Breathe in Allah, breathe out who. Only with your nose. Your mouth must be closed. And the breath pattern will be 3 times faster than usual. Not relaxed breaths, not deep breaths, but faster breathing pattern. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Find your heartbeat, find the beat, your pulse in your neck, in your chest. Hold your heartbeat pulse. Find the heartbeat pulse. Feel the heartbeat pulse. Every beat is saying Allah, who, Allah, who, Allah, who. Attach that to your mind. No other thoughts, only the mantra, the zikr, Allah, who. Feel the heartbeat, and every beat If you feel any tension anywhere in your body, you must take a deep breath in and let it out. Anywhere in your body you feel any tension or tightening up, and return back to your heartbeat. You hold your breath in, and when you are running out of your breath, you breathe out, and then you take a fresh breath in, and then go back to your heartbeat. You're contently listening to your heartbeat. Don't analyze the heartbeat. Just be with the heartbeat. You feel in your heart, in the depth of your heart. You focus and you're aware there's a light in your heart. There's a light glowing in your heart. And that light is also spreading in your body, from your heart into your mind. And nothing else remains, only the light. Your mind is light, your heart is light. The light is spreading in your body, in your chest, in your legs. There's no other existence, only this light. Only one light. All human beings, all the nature, all the planets, the universe, one light. No past, no future, only the presence, only the present moment. That present moment is you, this present moment is light. Feel the present moment as your only existence. This is our only existence, the entire universe, the heavens and the earth. One light. Eyes being closed, mouth being closed. Take nice deep breaths and slowly come out of your meditations. Nice, relaxed, deep breaths. And I'll finish it off with the prayer. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Oh God, everything that we have recited today, all the remembrance, the meditation that we have done today, everybody that has recited, everybody that has done the meditation, and whoever has the purest and the most purest of inner intentions, Allah, please purify and make those accepted in your court, in the valley. Ya Allah. Return us back to our original form. Return us back to our inner light. Have us truly recognize who we are. Have us truly recognize what it means to be in self-realization. Let us truly recognize what it means to go from the journey of self-realization to God-realization. Let us understand that everything, all encompassing, everything that is created is all within us, and we can recognize all of that within us, and we can get the whole story within ourselves. Let us understand that to fully be in surrender state is to be in your love. To be in full surrender state is to be in your love. To be completely surrendered is to surrender the ego self. And when we surrender the ego self, we realize the higher self, and that is yourself. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad wa barik sallam wa sallallahu ala habibihi Muhammad wa alihi wa sallam sallallahu ala habibihi Muhammad wa alihi